my channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about part of what I plan on reading in the month of September. I know. I literally just participated in a month-long readathon, but I'm participating in some more. This time, we're going to talk about Monsterathon. I'm super stoked to be participating in Monsterathon, especially since I'm the kind of person who wants to read about monster books all year round. So let's just jump right in. I will leave all the relevant information, including the team signups, in the description bar down below, but you should join Team Beasts because that's what team I joined. So let's get started. The first prompt is Classic Creeper. Read a book with a classic horror monster. And for this, I'm reading Certain Dark Things, a vampire book that takes place in Mexico City, and I've heard amazing things about it. And I actually have another book by this author on my owned TBR, so I am definitely interested in how this author writes, especially since I am trash for a good vampire book. Next prompt is What Big Eyes You Have, and that is to read a book that is 400 or more pages. And for that, I'm reading Mr. Mercedes by Stephen King. I'm not 100% on what this book is about, but I'm reading this for the Loosely Bound Book Club pick of the month. We decided that in September we would read a Stephen King book because we're reading Tunnel of Bones in October, so we decided to read an adult thriller horror in September. The next challenge is Chimera. Read a book that has multiple genres, which I'm going to be reading Unnatural Creatures, which is edited by Neil Gaiman. This is actually the short story collection which contains the group's challenge books in. However, I'm going to be trying to read the whole collection, and if I read the whole collection, it's definitely going to cover multiple genres because every short story that would cover for each group would count for a different genre because each group covers a different subgenre of monster. So I'm hoping that by reading the whole collection, I get multiple genres. That's the hope. If not, I will find something else that covers multiple genres. The next prompt is Real Monsters, which is basically to read a book about monsters humans, and for that I'm reading Goth, which is a translated Japanese work. I know that this one is about a girl who is obsessed with serial killers and that she lives in a town that is magnet for serial killers, and serial killers are considered monstrous humans. Next is Unsightly, reading a monster graphic novel, and while this one might not be as chunky as some other graphic novels, I consider this a monster graphic novel because it also is about monsters. This is called Fake Blood. It is about a boy who's trying to get the girl, but all she's interested in is vampires, and turns out it's because she is a vampire hunter. If this length is not monstrous enough, it does contain monsters as a theme, so I figured it would count either way. The next prompt is Angry Mobs, a book you've seen recommended multiple times, and for this I'm going to read My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. A couple of my friends are probably going to be super happy that I'm reading this one. Quite a few people were talking about this book last October, and I'm definitely, it's got a nice 80s cover to it, depending on which version you get, and it's about a girl whose best friend probably needs an exorcism. As far as I'm aware as the premise for this one, I just know that quite a few of my friends really liked this one, so I'm hoping that I will too. The next prompt is Sacrifice, a book you've seen unhauled. I literally, when I saw this, I went to the first unhaul in my YouTube subscription feed. I do not even know who unhauled this anymore because it was that long ago, and I checked it out from the library immediately. You Must Not Miss by Katrina Leno. Thank you to the random person who I saw unhaul this, but You Must Not Miss by Katrina Leno was a book I've recently seen unhauled. I think it's because of some of the subject matter, and I know that Katrina Leno has a interesting writing style, and this would be my first Katrina Leno book, and because I'm nervous about trying her work because I have a book by hers that I'm pretty sure I'm going to absolutely love, I think this would be a good starting point. Next category is Beast, which is basically to read a book with an animal/trait with monster, and for this I'm reading In a Badger Way. This is the second book in the Honey Badger Chronicles, which follows Honey Badger shifters. I really liked the first one. I believe the love interest in this one is going to be a panda shifter. I want a panda shifter in my life. I'm interested. So animal shifters would be animal traits, you know? The next prompt is Haunts, read a book with an undead creature. And for this I'm going to be reading Shallow Graves. I've actually read a different book called Shallow Graves that I thought was this one before, but this is about a girl who is murdered, and I think she's trying to solve her murder, which I'm super interested in this. And the last challenge is for Conspiracies, and this is to read a book with a sci-fi character. And for that I'm reading Wintertide. This is a Shadow over Innsmouth retelling, which the original story is by H.P. Lovecraft, and I know that the original story gets a little, but I know that this one has some sci-fi elements to it. So I'm really looking forward to getting into this one. It's been on my shelf for a while. I really like the original story. It's one of the few H.P. Lovecraft works that I've actually read. So I'm looking forward to that. So that's everything I'm hoping to get to during Monsterathon. Like I said, that's not everything I'm hoping to get to in September, but that's a good chunk of it. What about you? Are you participating in Monsterathon? Are you Team Beasts like me? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like what you saw here today, be sure to like and subscribe. I post videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Thank you so much for watching and have a nice day.